Wow, I did not expect this episode to have so much information in it and so many shifts to different locations. Whew, a lot to cover. Here we go. We start off with Zeno in his palace playing rock, paper, scissors with his other self, and he calls over the Daishinkan because he's getting bored, and I kind of like how they use their sort of like omniscient sort of capabilities to kind of guide us through the episode. They can see all this stuff that's happening throughout the universes. All they need to do is just want to see it. And so yeah, it's kind of like this cool little technique that they use so that we can shift, you know, back and forth from different universes throughout the episode. We go to Universe 7 and apparently only Goku, Vegeta, and Roshi, quote unquote, are the only people remotely interested in getting some training done before the actual tournament starts. Vegeta goes to the chamber, and it was so funny because there's like this close-up of Popo's face, and he tells him, you know, if you destroy the chamber again, you're banned, because, you know, remember that's what happened during the Zamasu arc. And then Vegeta just goes like, huh, and he walks in there, and Popo's like, he's gonna blow it up again, isn't he? And there's something Vegeta says in that scene, and I'm just thinking to myself, wait, is he gonna pick a fight with Goku in the middle of the tournament? Also, I have to admit that initially I was just going to complain, like hardcore complain, about the Roshi and Yamcha scene. I was gonna be like, what was the point of that stupid scene? It felt so ridiculous. I thought my gut reaction was to say, this is just like a gag scene. It's there for the laughs, and the laughs are getting tiring. I thought that it was just there to make, again, the whole joke on Yamcha, yeah, you're not gonna get invited, okay? It's not gonna happen. It's just kind of, to the point where I kind of even feel a little bit bad for him now. And then with Roshi, yeah, let's you know, make Roshi like seem like more of a perv than he looked in the Tenshin Han recruitment episode. But then I thought about it and I was like, wait, what if there is some seriousness to this thing? What if he actually is trying to overcome that flaw that he has with women? So, because we know there's going to be some women participating in the tournament. So I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt and say that maybe he does kind of have a plan. Because in the opening, he removes his glasses. He looks super badass. So all I'm saying is, please, Roshi, bring it back to the Dragon Ball days. You know, don't disappoint. Because if he is disappointing, then obviously this scene was worth absolutely nothing. It serves absolutely no purpose other than to be a gag. There was also a moment there with Goku and Old Kai in which Old Kai pretty much tells him, hey, do you want me to unlock your full potential, kind of like I did with Gohan? And I liked it because at least they're addressing, you know, the fact that that's something that he can do to the characters. But then I didn't like it because it just kind of felt like it was written off very easily. It's like, oh no, there's a time constraint here. That thing takes 25 hours and we don't have that much. So it's kind of like, oh, the tease. This episode made Universe 9 look really bad. They're still recruiting. The only people in the lineup currently are the Trio de Dangers, so that's not saying much. We saw Cedra destroy something. That was kind of cool. But yeah, they're like bottom of the barrel. It's so sad. We know that they're in the bottom of Zeno's rankings. And that's another thing, that in this episode, the Daishinkan actually tells Zeno, you know, I'm just making you aware of the fact that Universe 7 and 6 are pairs. So, you know, from a power standpoint, they're kind of equivalent. He doesn't say they're equal or anything like that, but there should be some amount of symmetry between universes that are pairs. And if you remember, the way that you find the pair is if they add 13. So 7 plus 6 is 13. So if we take into consideration that 9 is the pair of Universe 4, does that mean that Universe 4 is also weak and therefore would kind of be like the universe that's the third weakest? Because it goes Universe 9, Universe 7, and I guess Universe 4. Then we go to Universe 6, and we have a pretty good recruiting scene there with Hit and Frost. Hit just basically tells them, you know, the God of Destruction, like Champa sent me to get you, and if you don't want to come, you're going to die. So, you know, Frost does the same thing that he did in the tournament where he pretends, you know, he has like this personality. He's a pretty good actor. Well, not a good one, but, you know, he at least tries. And so he gives, like, you know, Hit like this kind of like mask, like, oh, I'm so helpless. But then he attacks him. Hit obviously dominates him, blocks the tail. Then he's like, come with me and get rid of all your needles, you stupid little junkie. And Frost says, oh, so you did know I was hiding another one there. And I really like the explanation that Hit gives him for as to why he would be valuable in the tournament. It's because he has like this innate drive to survive. So he's like, you know, that drive that you have will be useful. So come with me. Because after all, it is the survival tournament. There's a pretty good training scene with Goku and Whis there. Obviously, Whis is still capable of eating up all of Goku's hits, but then he goes for a hold behind Goku's back, and Goku, reminded of Toppo, is like, yeah, I'm not gonna let this fly again. So now he knows how to counter it, and I think that's what the purpose of the scene was, you know, to show that Goku learns with each fight that he has. Last week I told you how he learned that technique of spamming the blasts to blind the opponent. He did that in the Gohan fight last week, and he learned that with his fight against thin, skinny Buu. And now he knows how to bite people's hands to get out of those chokeholds. Speaking of Toppo, we do go to Universe 11. We see him very briefly. He's at a bar with Despo. We see Casserole there as well. I was hoping we were going to see Jiren, but no, I guess that guy's still training his ass off, which is cool. Also, I loved how they continued the GodTube gag with Gowasu in this episode. It was just so funny. He's recording the dancing there. He's just like, I'm going to get a ton of views. So he's probably thinking of like a clickbait title. It was so great. The return of the gag was great. Then we go to Universe 2, which is the pair of Universe 11. So again, there has to be some type of like symmetrical counter value between the two, which makes sense because judging from the opening, Vegeta is going to end up fighting this character right here that we got introduced in this episode. Her name's Brianne? Brianne? Yeah. And at first, like, she was teased in the preview last week, and my first thought was, man, this chick looks a lot like Rosalina. You know Rosalina? I mean, those are the vibes that I got immediately. Just made that connection there. It's also important to note that Universe 2 is the universe that has the God of Destruction that looks like a pharaoh, the only female God of Destruction that we've seen. So it could make sense that all of the people from Universe 2 that participate in the tournament happen to be female. Maybe that's just like, you know, a thing that's going on, that they, you know, females are super strong from that universe. Because I know the pharaoh values beauty, and I think that kind of goes with the motif and the theme of the planet that we got to see in this episode. It was very colorful, very, very flowery and bubbly, and I mean, you saw the color scheme. And then Rosalina / Brianne starts doing this weird Sailor Moonish type of dance, and she completely transforms herself into a giant Teletubby blob. Granted, she is pretty powerful in that form. We saw how she froze like these other two women, I guess. I think they're women. She just blew them up, straight up. Actually, now that I think about it, she kind of reminds me of Buu a little bit, just a little bit. But now I'm very excited to see her interact and fight with Vegeta. Because I mean, they couldn't be more different characters fighting each other. Speaking of Buu, he won't get up, so Goku immediately just leaves Beerus talking to himself to go get him. Okay, I don't know if he's going to get Buu or if he's actually going to get Frieza. I mean, I guess technically he should go to Buu first and then try and wake him up and then fail and then go to Frieza. But because I'm so impatient, I just want him to skip going to Buu and just go to Frieza already. But anyway, we get a majestic preview for next week.
Now this is big news, ladies and gentlemen. This is big news. Next week, Caulifla will be the first ever female to transform into a Super Saiyan. I'm really glad with the decision of her being the first ever female Super Saiyan to transform on screen. I really am, you know. Although technically we have seen Kale transform in the commercial for the tournament as well as in the opening, but this is like, you know, in show, within the chronology of the show, the first time ever. So I'm really glad it's going to be her. And, you know, this is jumping into a little bit of a speculation, but judging from Kale's sort of facial expressions and gestures, you can kind of see that she's like kind of motivated to surpass Caulifla, or at least to match her and you know, work towards her transformation in this one preview. Then again, once Cauli transforms, she does like this energy wave blast thing, and it just like sends Kale flying. So, I mean, this is some powerful stuff. Also, and this is just me getting a little bit speculative on the matter, but I happen to think that they might be leaning towards writing some type of a love triangle dynamic, you know, amongst Kabi, Kale, and Caulifla. Because if you think about it, I mean, all three of them seem like they're around the same age. They kind of have similar goals. I'm assuming all three of them are going to participate in the tournament. So, you know, and granted, like a love triangle dynamic can get old very fast. It can get annoying. But it can also be a lot of fun if done right. So please let me know what you think about that.
Especially because Cauli and Kale have pretty much polar opposite personalities. Anyway, there's a line in the preview where Goku says, wait, 18, Krillin, you're quitting? So it makes it seem as if like they're actually leaving the roster, but I'm pretty sure it's because everybody's going to find out next week what the consequences are for the tournament. So, you know, I wouldn't be surprised if people threaten to leave the lineup, but eventually they're going to have to end up. I mean, we know they're not going to leave. Or it could also be their reaction to finding out that Goku wants to invite Frieza into the lineup, We don't know. There's some shenanigans going on there with Universe 3. We see the God of Destruction as well as the Kaioshin. I'm pretty sure they already have the lineup ready. It seems like they have the full roster now with their top 10 fighters. So we'll see some Universe 3 next week. That's it for me, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Like the review if you did. I appreciate that. Subscribe to my channel for more Dragon Ball Super reviews every Saturday night. It's going to be a lot of fun. Comment down below with your thoughts. I definitely do not want to jinx it, but I get the feeling that it's only going to get better from here on out. So thank you for watching.